Attacked on all sides, the Kurds are pounded by Turkish artillery with death and destruction on the ground. And from the air, Turkish military footage shows the sheer force with which they're targeting Kurdish militias. Turkey is battling for territory held by the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces. Ankara says the offensive will secure Turkey's border and create a safe zone for Syrian refugees. But right now, this part of Syria is anything but safe.
This is the 6th time we've heard an explosion in the city. People are afraid.
This house you see here, there were children playing. A mortar fell and killed a boy. The girl, she lost her leg.
The US Pentagon wants Turkey to stop.
To be clear, we are not abandoning our Kurdish partner forces, and US troops remain with them in other parts of Syria. The impulsive action of President Erdogan to invade northern Syria has put the United States in a tough situation, given our relationship with our NATO ally Turkey, who has fought alongside the United States in the past.
And President Trump is threatening sanctions.
If Turkey does something that they shouldn't be doing, we will put on sanctions, the likes of which very few countries have ever seen before.
Now the US is backpedaling. Their troops are still on patrol a few kilometers from the conflict zone, a zone they evacuated just days ago. They've also come under fire from Turkish artillery, although with no reported injuries. This is CCTV footage of a large camp holding tens of thousands of family members of Islamic State militants, and it shows an apparent escape attempt. The camp is controlled by Kurdish forces, and they say the situation's critical. And in the Kurdish town of Kamishi, a car bomb claimed by IS. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has lashed out at the US's criticism.
We won't stop no matter what anyone says. Threats are coming from the left and the right for us to stop this. I've told Mr. Trump and others, if you're going to stop this, stop it. But you haven't. So we'll take matters into our own hands.
Civilians who once fled IS are now again desperately seeking refuge as another humanitarian crisis unfolds in Syria.
Well, DW's Dorian Jones is standing by for us in Istanbul. Dorian, what's Istanbul's reaction been to the US threats?
Well, President Erdogan, in a very tough speech, said we are not going to step back. We are going to continue with this operation, even though we are facing what he described as threats from our left and from our right, from everywhere. And he outlined that the scope of the operation is to create this safe zone of 32 kilometers into Syria, and which it will be all the Syrian Kurdish militia, or as terrorists as Ankara calls them, will be removed from that area. So there is no stepping back from Ankara. In fact, if anything, they are ramping up the pressure on the Syrian Kurdish militia, and there is expected to be a further acceleration of this operation, given the fact that Ankara is aware it is under increasing international pressure.
And Kurds are fleeing this fighting, understandably, but where are they seeking shelter and who's helping them?
Well, that is the big fear among all aid agencies. We've already understand that around 100,000 people have been displaced by the fighting. Other aid groups saying that figure could rise to 300,000. There's around 500,000 people located about 5 kilometers into Syria where this operation is continuing. Now, where these people will go, no one really knows, because they really don't know where is safety. It's unclear how far this Turkish operation is going to go. We have reports that bombing is already 30, 40 kilometers deep into Syria, and beyond this narrow strip of inhabited towns and villages, there's mainly arid desert, and that is a big concern among aid agencies. If these people head into this area, it will be very hard to provide assistance and support to these people.
And we've been hearing a lot about this assault, increasing the risk that IS jihadists could escape from prisons that the Kurds are guarding. So how much of a danger do they pose to people in northeastern Syria?
Well, we've already had reports that there was a bombing in Kumashi, a town right on the border, where earlier strikes by Turkish forces hit a prison where many Islamic State people were being held in that town. Those people, some people are believed to have escaped, and it believes that some of those may have been responsible for this latest bombing. And this just gives an insight into the wider danger that the international community are really worried about, because there is over 10,000 Islamic State militants and jihadists being held by the Syrian Kurdish forces. On top of that, there are tens of thousands of sympathizers, family members also being detained. What will happen to those people? And given the fact that this operation does seem to be extending and accelerating, where will these people go? Will these people escape? Trump said it's the Turks it's Turkey's responsibility, but it's unclear how Turkey will take over responsibility given the fact that this is increasingly becoming a war zone. And the major concern among the international community is among those jihadists, it's believed as many as 2,000 are foreign nationals. Some of them are believed to be Europeans, while others are Russians from Russian area of the region. So there is also growing concern about what will happen to those jihadists.
Dorian Jones standing by for us in Istanbul. Thanks very much.